Shalom, Israel. With the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, start out on 1 West on the 25th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. This the Saturday Sabbath service. With that, I majim, which means to stand. Star Wapan Yahakudon, which means turn to face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abinawa Shabbat Shemaim Kodash Haya Shimka Yahawah Malakukat Taba'a Ratazaka Haya Aisha Ba Ratazak Kawa Haya Bashemaim Nathana Lakum call your warm wasalak or Watna Kasalak Kawatina Wala Atabi Ana Banasawana Baha Shana Mayan Ra Kayala Ka Hamalakwa Pahala Wata Paratna Amalamu Amon. In English, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, that will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever, so be it. Prayer for the power, the Hakak in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Babu Shah, Nathanael now Hakak, Hakak, La Rapa, Kal Makalawa, Kal Madawa, Hakak, La Tahar, Hamatazarium, Hakak, La Hakoyum, Hamathim, Hakak, Awakawa, Hatamala, Lagarshum, Bashem Yahushat, the Wadaman. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please to give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power to cleanse unclean, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. The prayer to bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Barak Lanawa, where Yasharala, Wahaba Saparim, Barak, Bashem Yahushua, the water among. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, bless us in Israel and the school in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha Ayanya, Al-Haharya, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Ma'am, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Warataza, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ali, Yanawam, Bala'aya, Yashan, Shamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazaka, Al-Yad, Yam Yanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Yarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makar Ra, Yashamar, Atnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza Wabawaka, Maitha, Wa'id Awalam. In English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills from whence comes my help. My help comes from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh is thy Salaki. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al Damyaka, Al Takarash, Wa Al Tashakwa, Al Kayahna, Al Yabuka, Yahamayawan, Wa Mashanaika, Sha'aw, Sha'awa, Ra'ash, Al Amrika, Yawayamu, Sawad, Wa Yataya Aitawa, Al Tazapawanika, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wa Nakakidam, Magalia, Wala'a, Yadakar, Sham Yasharala, Iwad, Kaya, Nawa Aitawa, Lab Nikadwa, Alyaka, Baryak, Ya Karatwa, Ahalya, Adawam, Wa Yashama Wa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Wa'amawan, Wa'amalak, Palashah, Amishabia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Yashabia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Haywa, Zarawa, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Lahum, Kamadyan, Kasaya Sarah, Ayabian Banakal Koyashwan Nashamadwa by Yandara Ayawa Daman La Dama Shatamwa Nadiyabmawa Tairab Wakazabat Wakatazamana Kal Nasaya Kamwa offshore Amarwa Nayurasha Lanawa Afnawa Alahayam Alahaya Shayatamwa Bagogla Kakwash Lapanya Raka Kaash Taba Aria Ara Waka Laba Talahat Haryam Khan Lavadatma Basa Araka Wabasa Papka Tabalahum Mala'a Panyahum Malawan Wayabakwashla Shumka Yahawa Yabashwa Wayabahawa Ajaid Wayakaparwa Wayabadwa Wayadaiwa Kaya Atha Shumka Yahawa Labatka Al Yawan Al Kahal Arataza. In English, keep thou not Salaki, keep not thou silent, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace and be not still, O powerful, lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah, doing to them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, as to Kaisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make the nobles like Oreb, and like Zier, yea, all their princes as Abba and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the house of the power and possession. O my power, make them like the wheel, as the stubble for the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded in trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high of all the earth. The prayer to bless the school in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, wa Yahweh Shah, wa Mayaka Allah, wa Allah, like wa Allahayim. Matazab Yah, Alawap Yahana, Halawapim, Hasaranyim, Hakotazayanyim, Hakayayoyim, Wahakwatian, Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah, Tuwaraman. In English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, and Michael and the angels, Commander General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it. These are curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force the rich to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, the Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, the Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, posse comitazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Space Force, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channel and the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way and try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua, thank you always, so be it. All right, Sar, which means to turn, and then Yeshabim, which means to sit. All right, Salaki. 1 second. All right, Shalom, Israel. Just said before, we the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. This is the Saturday Sabbath service where we break down the scriptures. We go into the scriptures in the Hebrew and read through 49 verses, and then we break it down in the English. All right. So you can get a full 360 scope of what's going on in these scriptures. All right. Something that your Christian pastor is ill equipped to do and always has been ill equipped to do. You know what I mean? And right now it's high time for us to realize who is, who are the Lord's prophets and who are not. The problem is we look at your Christian church, and even though we know that Christian church ain't worth, even though we know that Christian church ain't worth a damn, up in there where they teaching you lies, or they ain't even teaching you nothing. They just in there singing and dancing and clapping their hands and stomping their feet, and they hitting you with these, these so-called holy jackets, and they want to touch you on your forehead, and they want you to fall over and act a fool and all of that. And act like Boo Boo the Fool up in there. It's high time for us to realize that they're not the Lord's prophets. And the behavior that you see up in there, the scandals that you see up in there, the child abuse and the sexual misconduct that you see up in there, and the LGBTQ activity that you see up in there, it's high time for us to realize that those type of things are not of the Lord. All right. And these brothers in the ISUPK been teaching the truth since 1969 to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And the things that we've been saying since 1969 are coming to pass. You see these things. You see these things happening. You seeing these wars. You seeing these rumors of wars that turn into wars. You seeing these, the things that's being prophesied by the prophets up in here, where Donald Trump is going to get back in office, and he's going to try to become an absolute tyrant over America. But now you see in the news where now he's trying to, well, he said during his campaign where he told everybody that if you elect him, you're not going to need to have another election. That is, that is dictatorship if I've ever seen it. But there are there are a lot of our people, and there are a lot of our people that will opt to ignore these clear signs for the sake of, fulfilling our own lust and all those different things. But the at this point, like, we don't have it, like as it says in Ezekiel. If the watchman doesn't blow the trumpet, then we die in our sin. But that the blood is on the watchman's hands. Well, now you have watchmen, so the people at this point don't have an excuse. And that's what the ISUPK is here for, to give Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the truth, so that when the Most High, or when Christ cracks that sky with them angels to redeem Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans out of this hell, then we have no excuse, because these priests and prophets have been on the corner telling Black folks who we are as a people, giving us back our culture, and telling us the truth according to the Bible, opening the floor so that you can ask your questions. The chat is always open for you to ask your questions, even, right now. You got any questions or comments, you go and put them in the chat. Or if you're ever watching, Salakia, 1 second. If you're ever watching and we're not live for whatever reason, you can always go and you can always go to that QR code in the top left corner, and any time of the day, there's going to be a brother in there to answer all your questions and solve all your problems. We're also, you can always also get on Google and look up the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Find any school, any city, or anywhere in the world, and they're going to have the same thing. You could click on their links, hit their number up. shoot them a text, give them a call, and the same thing, morning, noon, or night, they're going to be there to answer all your questions and solve all your problems. You know what I mean? Anywhere in the world. So point being, so point being, you know what I mean, our people have run out of excuses. You know what I mean, you see what's going on with Trump, and he is sicking ice on black or Hispanics right now, and it's only a matter of time before he starts to. Well, he's already it's already trickled down to Native Americans, and it's only a matter of time before it trickles down to so-called black people. You know what I mean? You see all these things going on. The Most High is giving blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans no excuse to learn who they are as a people. You know what I mean, so if you got any questions, go ahead put them in the chat. You got any comments, go ahead put them in the chat and get your answers. I mean, get to the bottom of it, because it's only a matter of time before your family is affected. You know what I mean? Well, you on one of them Delta airplanes, I mean, at this point, I saw something where it said Spirit is the only airline that's safe. Where everybody was avoiding Spirit, everybody was afraid of Spirit. You know what I mean? To fly anywhere. But you see all these major airlines falling out the air, colliding with other aircrafts and things like that. It's only a matter of time where it makes it to you, to your family. You know what I mean? Or now we could pretty much go all day with all the signs and the wonders that's been shown to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that should provoke you to serve the Lord. But of course, we're stiff necked and rebellious people. All right. But we can go all day. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Last week, I believe we left off Exodus chapter 8 and verse 6. We're gonna pick up Exodus chapter 8 and verse 5. We're gonna pick up Exodus chapter 8, verse 6. You know what I mean? And read on. We're gonna start off in the Hebrew, and then we're gonna go into the English. Make sure you got a Bible Hub in front of you. Download Bible Hub if you don't have it already. If you got any questions about any of the resources or the tools that we use during Sabbath service, go ahead, put it in the chat, then we can get you up to speed. But those of you that know, you know what I mean, go ahead, open up Bible Hub, go to the interlinear section, and go to the book, chapter, and verse that we're gonna be starting in. And we're gonna end in, I believe, Exodus chapter 9 and verse 22. All right. So it's the book of Exodus, chapter 8 and verse 6 in the Hebrew. Wayata, Aharon, Ath, Yadwa, Al, Mayum, Ya, Matazarium, Wa Tha'al, Ha, Taza, Radai, Wa Thakasa, Ath, Arataza, Matazarium. Salaki. Verse 7. Waya Aishawa, Khan, Ha, Rasamyam, Bala Yahum, Waya Alwa, Ath Ha Taza Paradayum, Al Arataza Matazarium. Verse 8. Waya Korah, Para, La Masha, Wala Aharon, Waya Amar, Ah, Ha, I the Yarwa al Yahweh Waya Sar Ha Taza Radayum Mama Mamunya Salakia Wa Wama Wamaimya Wa Ashalacha Ath Ha'im Waya Zabachwa La Yahweh. Verse 9. Wayamar Masha La Para Ha Tha Pa Par I Ilawa La Mathia, Salakia, Thayor, Laka, Wa, Wala Badyaka, Wala Wala Imka, La Ha, Salakia, Waha Karayath, Salakia, Ha Taza Paradium, Mamaka, Wa Bathyaka, Rock, Baya, Bayar, Thasha, Thashar, Thasharana, verse 10. Wayamar Lachar, Wayamar Kada Barka, Lamain, the Dai Kaya, Ayan, Kaya, Kaya Hawa, Slaki, Kaya Hawa, Allah, Slaki, Allah Hayanawa, verse 11. Verse 11. Wasa, Wasawa, Ha, Ha Taza, Paradayam, Mamaka, Wama Bathayaka, Wama I Badyaka, Wa Wama I Wama Imka, Rock, Bayar, Thasha Arana, 12. Waya Taza'a Masha, Wa Ahran, Ma'im, Hara, Waya Taza'ik, Masha, Al, Yahweh, Al, Debar, Ha, Tazaparadayim, Ashar, Shum, La, Para. Verse 13. Wayasha, Yahweh, Ka, Kadabar, Masha, Waya Mathwa, Ha, Tazaparadayim, Mun, Habathium, Slack Mun, Ha Tazarath, Wamun, Ha Shadath. Verse 14. Waya Tazabarwa, Athum, Hamarum, Hamarum, Watha Baash, Ha Rataza. 15. Waya Ra Kaya, Ha Yatha, Harawaha, Waha Kabad Ath, Labwa, Wala'a, Shamai, Alahum, Kashor, Debar Yahweh. 16. Wayamor Yahweh al Mashad, Amor al Aharon, Na Nata Ath, Ma Mataka, Wa Waka, Wahak, Ath, Ipar, Harataza, Wahaya, Lakanum, Bakal, Rataza, Matazarim. 17. Laki. 17. Waya Aishawa Khan Wa Wayata Aharon Ath Yadwa Bama Ta Hawa Wayak Ath Ipar Harataza Wa Wathawa Hakanum Ba Adam Wa Babahama Ka Ipar Harataza Haya Kaniyum Bakal Rataza Matazarium. Verse 18. Salaki. Waya Aishawa Khan Ha Ratumyum Bala Balatyahum Laha Wataza Ya'a Ath Hakanayum Wala'a Ya Yakawa Salaki. Wa Wathaya Salaki. Hakanum Ba Adam Bahama 19. Waya Amarwa Maharatumium Al Para Atazabai Alahim Hawa Waya Khazak Lab Para Wa La'a Shemai Alahum Kashar Debar Yahweh. Verse 20. Waya Mar Yahweh Al Mashah Ha Shekam Babakwar Wahata Yatazab La Panya Para Hana Yawataza Ha Salakia Hamayama Wa Marath Aliyawa Ka Amar Yahweh Shalach Amya Waya I Bad Noah Sndaya Salakia. 21. Kaya Ayanka Mashalach Ath Amya Hananiya Masha Salakia Mashalayach Baka Waba Ibadyaka Wabaimka Wababa Yaka Ath Salaki Hi Rob Bama Laawa Bathia Matazarium Ath Ha Rob Wagum Ha Adama Ashar Hum Aliyah Ha 22. Salaki. Waha Salaki verse 22. Waha Paul Salaki Waha Paliathia by Yawam Haha Wa'ath Rataza Gashan Ashar Amya Imad Aliyah La Labalatia Hayawath Shum I rob La Salaki La Lamain Tadai Kaya Aniya Yahweh Ba Ba Rob Salaki Bakarab Harataza 23 Wash Washamtia Padath Bayan I Amya Wa Bayan I Amka Lamakar Ya Haza 24 Wa Ya'im Yahweh Khan Wa Ya Ba'a I Rob Kabad Ba Yafa Hara Wabayaf I Bad Yawa Wa Panya Ha I Salakia I Rob Ya for Harab Al Salakia Masha Wa La Aharon Waya short it's like Waya more La Lakawa Zabakwa La Allah Alahayakum Ba Rataza. Verse 26. Waya Amar Masha Al Nakawan Salaki La I Shawath Khan Kaya the wa I Bath Matazorium na Zabak La Yahweh Alahayanawa Han na Bach Af wa I Bath Matazorium La I Yun Yahum wa La Yasa Qual 27 The Rock Shalashath Yum Na Laka Lak Bama Dabar Wala Slakia was Bak Noah La Yahweh Slakia Allahayanawa Kashor Ya Amor Al Yanawa 28 Waya Amor Parai Ankaya Ashalach Alakum Alakum was a Bakum La Yahweh Alahayakum Ba Ma Debar Rock Ha Rachach La Thara Chayakwa Lalakuth Ha Thayero Slakin Ha Thayarwa Ba'id. Ba'id. Yeah. Verse 29. We more Mashah Hana Anakia Ya wa Taza'a Ma'ai Ma'imka wa ha Aithathia Al Yahweh wa Sar ha I Rob Ma Parai I my Badyawa wa Ma'imwa Mahar Rock Al Ya Yasap Parai Ha Hathal Labalafia Shalak Ath Ha'im La Lazabak La Yahweh. Verse 30. Waya Taza'a Masha Ma'im Parai Waya I Waitar Al Yahweh. All right. Salakia. 1 second. Salakia. Salakia. All right. So those are the first 25 verses in the Hebrew. Salakia. So we're going to go back and read the first 25 verses in the English. All right. So we start off in book of Exodus, chapter 8, and verse 6. And Aaron stretched out his Salakia. And Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt. And the magicians did so with their enchantments and brought up frogs upon the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron and said, entreat the Lord that he may take away the frogs from me and from my people, and I will let the people go, that they may go sacrifice unto the Lord. And Moses said unto Pharaoh, glory over me. When shall I entreat for thee and for thy servants and for thy people to destroy the frogs from thee and thy houses, that they may remain from in the river only? And he said, tomorrow. And he said, be it according to thy word, that thou mayest know that there is none like unto the Lord our God. See, this is the thing. This is the thing that you got to understand about your oppressor, right? And it's important that you understand, first of all, that we are living, like what we're reading right now is what we're dealing with right now in America. Like, you cannot beg your way, you cannot serve your way into the good graces of your oppressor. And that's what we try to do. I mean, you see it with Martin Luther King, you see it with, us joining the military and the police force and trying to vote and all those things. We go into, we go into, imagine that we go into HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities, and then we pledge Greek. I mean, how much sense do that make? But it's all because we trying to fit in with, our oppressive society. We trying to fit in with our oppressive society. But what you got to understand is you can't love your way into your oppressive society. You can't love your way into the good graces of your oppressor. You know what I mean? Because their whole point is to oppress you. That's the point. You know what I mean? These nations are confederate against you. And You know what I mean? The Most High has made your oppressor unto dishonor. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be ruling this earth, and you know what I mean? These other nations are here to try you. You know what I mean? They're here to try you. They're to serve you. And if you don't obey the Most High, they're here to try you. And they're here to, you know what I mean, be the whooping stick of the Most High God. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you supposed to be ruling. You the main character in this thing, in this book called the Holy Bible. These separate records are about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But the problem is us as, you know what I mean, the main family that the Lord is talking about and trying to, you know what I mean, to to give, he's trying to give us the world, he's trying to give us a rulership, but with that we trying to share it with our oppressors who mean to steal it from us in the first place. They try to rob us and they try to destroy us and they try to bring us down so that they can rule. So you got to understand that you can't love your way into your oppressor's heart, and that's what you see right now. You know what I mean? Where you got ICE agents, you know what I mean, hunting down blacks, or you got ICE agents hunting down Hispanics at their jobs. We supposed to be criminals, right? We supposed to be criminals. We supposed to be no good. We supposed to be deadbeats. We supposed to be uh uneducated. We supposed to be all these different things. But they're not hunting us down on the streets. They're not hunting us down on the corner selling drugs. They're not hunting us down, you know what I mean, in these places where they say that we are. You know what I mean, that fit the description that they want to put on us. They finding us in school where we graduate in high school and college. You know what I mean? They ICE agents are finding Hispanic brothers and sisters and deporting them from their graduation. You know what I mean? From their jobs. That's where you finding a Hispanic brother or sister. You know what I mean? Yet and still, you know what I mean, you see Border Patrol and it's a lot of far too many, you know what I mean, Hispanic brothers and sisters working Border Patrol. You know what I mean? So we cannot. What you got to understand is you cannot love your way into your oppressor's arms, because what you're gonna see right here, you see, you know what I mean, Pharaoh, his Pharaoh in Egypt is experiencing these plagues, and Pharaoh's like, all right, you know what I mean, Moses is warning Pharaoh and like, look, if you don't let the children of Israel go, it's like you see what's going on. So like, there we go. But you know what I mean? Moses is warning Pharaoh. He's like, if you don't let the children of Israel go, then this plague is gonna come on you. And he like, all right, whatever, whatever. You know what I mean? This plague, all right. And then he don't let the people go, so this plague come on him. And then now Pharaoh's like, look, tell the Lord to let this. You know what I mean? He acknowledges the Lord. Then when your oppressor is in trouble, when Pharaoh was in trouble, he acknowledged the Lord then. But then uh as soon as the Most High let up that plague, you know what I mean? When Pharaoh asked Moses, he begged Moses in there and to let that asked the Most High to let that plague up. As soon as he was free of that plague, you gonna see what he do. But that's what you got to understand about your oppressor. Again, Egypt is modern day, or America is modern day Egypt, rather. So, I mean, when you see these things happening in Egypt, just think about your oppressor, and you know what I mean. You see it right now. You know what I mean. When Southern California was on fire, you know what I mean. Before Southern California caught on fire for them couple days, it was like America or Hispanics are terrorists, Hispanics are, you know what I mean, particularly the Mexicans. I mean, they super predators, they're terrorists and all those different things, they criminals and all of that. They trying to mass deport them. And then what happened? Southern California caught on fire, and what did they do? They was allowing all sorts of Mexicans to come through with fire trucks and airplanes and all of that. And these brothers who they was just saying was criminals, they was allowing them into the country to put out them fires in Southern California. So when your oppressor is in distress, they're going to absolutely try to, you know what I mean, make amends and appease to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But as soon as they come out of that distress, they're gonna go right back into hating blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's what you got to understand. When you see Kamala Harris during that election before Trump got elected, you know what I mean, she was talking about, with the swipe of my pen, I can make your life hell. You know what I mean? And then with another swipe of my pen, I can make all of that mean nothing. But you just lost a whole bunch of money and wasted a whole bunch of time and spent a whole bunch of time in jail. You done lost your job and all of that. And all of that meant nothing, because with the swipe of my pen, I could throw that same case away. You know what I mean? You got to understand, the same way with the swipe of your oppressor's pen, they can make your life hell. The same swipe of their pen where Donald Trump, you know what I mean? We fought long and hard for the DAI bill to be passed. We fought long and hard, you know what I mean, for the civil rights and all of that, for us to integrate into uh, our oppressive society. But with the swipe of Donald Trump's pen, he's going to do the exact same thing. You know what I mean? The swipe, it took you what, 40, 50 years for you to get integrated into white society. But with the just a simple swipe of Donald Trump's pen, he erased all of that. 40 years of work, he undid with an evening. You know what I mean? And that's what you're seeing right here. And that's what you got to understand about the society that you live in, black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man. You know what I mean? Well, we're gonna go ahead and keep reading. Salakia. Salakia. Verse 10, read verse 10 again. And he said tomorrow, and he said, be it according to thy word, that thou mayest know that there is none like unto the Lord our God. You know what I mean? So with him taking away these plagues, he's like, all right, make sure you understand. Like, once I take away these plagues, make sure you know that there's no other God like the most high our God. There's no other God but you know what I mean, the most high God of Israel, whose name is Yahweh, right? He's the only one true living God. And he made sure Pharaoh knew that. He was like, when should I ask the most? He was like, you see, he warned them about the plagues first. He was like, look, if you don't let these people go, it's going to be a plague that come upon Egypt that you're not going to like. And of course, they downplayed it. They was like, all right, whatever you say. And then lo and behold, his plague come, and they like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Take away this plague. Ask your God to take away this plague. And before he did it, he was like, all right, well, I can ask, but make sure, you know what I mean? Make sure you know that once this is done, make sure you know that there's no other God like the God that plagued your people. And when you ask, this plague was taken away. You know what I mean? Verse 11, and the frog shall depart from thee and from thy house and from thy servants and from thy people. They shall remain in the river only. 12, and Moses and Aaron went out from Pharaoh. And Moses cried unto the Lord because of the frogs which he had brought against Pharaoh. And the Lord did according to the word of Moses. And the frogs died out of the houses, out of the villages, and out of the fields. And they gathered them together upon heaps, and the land stank. 15. But when Pharaoh saw that there was a respite, he handed, so it's like he hardened his heart and hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had said. So as soon as your oppressor get a break, you know what I mean? Like I said before, you know what I mean? Or like the scripture said before, rather, as soon as they, you know what I mean, going through some hardships, they're going to beg, please, Lord God, take this away. Take this away. You know what I mean? When they get faced with the crimes, you know what I mean? When they get faced with the same thing that they put our people through, you know what I mean? They get faced with the same, you know what I mean? Or brothers and sisters start to retaliate and start to stand up against them, and they're like, please take this away. Or when they start to see the you know what I mean, the recompense that comes, you know what I mean, from the most high for the crimes that they committed against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they like, oh, please take this away. You know what I mean? I'm sorry for slavery. It was wrong and all of that, this, that, and the third. And you know what I mean, they talk a good game. Like the scriptures say, the words of their mouth is smoother than butter, but in their heart was drawn swords. You know what I mean? Well, war was in their hearts. I mean, they talk a good game, but then as soon as they in the clear, as soon as they feel like they didn't have some relief, like it says, the Lakia. Salakia. What was that? Oh, verse 15. Salakia. But when Pharaoh saw that there was a respite is a break. It's like you know what I mean? It's like a break. So as soon as Pharaoh saw that there was a break, as soon as Pharaoh saw that, you know what I mean, there was a brief little, you know what I mean, intermission but in their tribulation, they went right back to oppressing the Lord's people. I mean, and he even got harder on us. So the Pharaoh hardened his heart more. Or yeah, verse 16. And the Lord said unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch out thy rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And they did so. For Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beasts, and all the dust of the land became lice throughout the land of Egypt. See, what you got to realize is, you know what I mean, if you paying attention since January 1st, even before that, but since January 1st, it's been plague after plague and national disaster after national disaster and pandemic after pandemic and war after war. And, you know what I mean, it's just been disaster after disaster and chaos after chaos and tragedy after tragedy. You know what I mean? You got to understand, black man, is these things are being done for you. These things are being done by the Most High God to redeem blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans out of this hell. That's what this is for, and that's what you're reading right here, where the you know what I mean, the plague of the frogs was, you know what I mean, put on the land of Egypt, and and Pharaoh was like, "Hey, look, you know what I mean. You take away these frogs, and I'm gonna go ahead and let the people go. I'm gonna let the people go, and then you know what I mean. Just get rid of this tragedy. Get rid of this plague that's happening right now." And Moses was like, "No sweat. Just make sure you acknowledge the Most High when you do it." And then he you know what I mean, he lifted up the plague. You know what I mean, from the authority of the Most High, and Pharaoh got right back to being cruel to the Lord's people. So now it's another plague. Now they're like, all right, send lice. And watch, you're going to see a pattern where it's going to be plague, and then Pharaoh's going to beg to be redeemed from this plague. And then he's going to be redeemed from the plague, and then he's going to get hard on the people. That's what you see happen in America. I mean, all these, you know, I mean, these plane crashes. You see these shootings and these tragic things that's happening in America. You see you know what I mean, you see all these different things, and you should know that all of those things is happening for the sake of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's lucky. Verse 17, and they did so, for Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beast, and the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth lice, but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beast. And this is what you got to understand. Like at first, there was a time where your Christian pastors, they was doing, you know what I mean? They was mimicking miracles that only the Most High could do through his prophets. You know what I mean? And they was mimicking these miracles. And at one point, they had blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans fooled. They had the world fooled to thinking that their Christian church was a holy place. But now, like you see now, like the magicians, they were trying to mimic the miracles that you know what I mean, the Most High was doing through Moses and Aaron, but they could not. Now you see in that time right now where you got your Christian church, they trying to mimic these miracles where they hitting you with the holy jacket, and you know what I mean, they telling you to walk. You know what I mean? They telling you get up and walk, and they pull the sheet up off you and you ain't got no legs. You know what I mean? Or they hitting you with the holy jacket, and or you don't fall over into the what they call the Holy Ghost, and you don't fall over singing and dancing. So they just knocking you over now. You know what I mean? They could, like, they can't even mimic the miracles, or they can't even fool you anymore. They can't even put on that same song and dance and that show that they did for so many years in that Christian church. They can't even do it no more because it's not working. And that's what you're seeing here in Egypt. Verse 18, and the magicians, Salakia. Verse 19, Salakia. Then the magician said unto Pharaoh, this is the finger of God. And the Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them. as the Lord has said. So even the pharaohs, even or Slacky, even the magicians, they telling you, they telling Pharaoh rather that this is the Most High God doing this. Like Moses said, like Aaron said, they're like, look, make sure you acknowledge the Most High. And Pharaoh refused. And even the magicians that work for Pharaoh, they're like, look, this is beyond me. This is the Most High doing this. We should let up. But at this point, Pharaoh's heart was so hardened that he was just like, we not going. And that's America for you. Where even, even as they see that they losing, what they say, the captain goes down with the ship. Even as they see that they lose in the battle, even though that they see that they made an error and that they, that they have the Lord's chosen people in captivity, they're just gonna go down with the ship. They're just gonna go down with it, and they just gonna go out for swinging and fighting. That's your oppression. That's what you got to understand. That you cannot love your oppressor enough to integrate into his society and treat you like a human being, like he treats his uh white counterparts. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. And that's what you're seeing right here. Pharaoh's heart is hardened. Donald Trump's heart is hardened. America's heart is hardened against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And no matter what the facts say, no matter what the Bible says, no matter how we show the facts in the Bible, no matter how we show, Christ is a black man or Christ didn't come die for everybody. The Most High doesn't love everybody. That the prophets are black and the angels are black and all of those different things. Your oppressor in their society is hardened against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Even though we show the facts where they want to try to paint you as a criminal, or they say you're the largest criminal in America and you commit all the most violent crimes and the most criminal acts in America, where we show the facts where your the police reports and the FBI is just painting that picture, to make it seem like we're the most criminal people in the earth, where it's not even it's not even that we commit these crimes, we just the most convicted for these crimes. We've always been convicted for crimes we haven't committed, but we're also the most exonerated from these crimes for not even having committed them. Just like they did to what's his name, just like they did to Emmett Till, where he was convicted of a crime and he was lynched for that crime. But then later, when the woman who was when the devil who convicted him and accused him of this crime admitted on her deathbed that she was lying, there was no compensation. There was no, retribution or punishment for that devil that lied on that brother. You know what I mean? Because America's heart is hardened against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's what you got to understand. That's the number one thing. If you don't know anything else, if you don't get anything else out of this class, the classes in the ISUPK, just understand that your oppressor's heart is hardened against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right. Verse 20, and the Lord said unto Moses, rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he coming from the water, and said to him, thus saith the Lord, let my people go, that they may serve me. Verse 21, else if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy houses, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereon they are. And I will serve, and I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there to the end thou mayest know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth. And I will put a division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall this sign be. 24. And the Lord did so. And there came a grievous swarm of flies into the house of Pharaoh and into the servants' houses and into the land of Egypt. The land was corrupted by reason of the swarms of flies. And Pharaoh called for Moses and for Aaron and said, go ye sacrifice unto your God in the land. 26. And Moses said, it is not meet to do so, for we shall sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians to the Lord our God. Lo, shall we sacrifice abomination into the Egyptians for their eyes, and will they not stone us? Will we go 3 days journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to the Lord our God as he shall command us? And Pharaoh said, I will let you go that ye may sacrifice to your Lord your God in the wilderness, only ye shall go not, so like it shall not go very far away. Entreat for me. And Moses said, behold, I go out from thee, and I will entreat the Lord that the swarms of flies may depart from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people tomorrow. But let not Pharaoh deal deceitfully any more, and letting the people go to sacrifice to the Lord. 30. And Moses went out from Pharaoh and entreated the Lord. All right. You're going to read a little bit more of this Hebrew, then we're going to finish in the English. All right. The book of Exodus, chapter 8, verse 31 in the Hebrew. Wayasha Yahweh Kadabar Masha Waya Wayasor Ha'ai Wahaira Ma Parai Ma'ai Badyawa Wa Ma'ai Wa La'a Na Sha'ar Achar. 32. Waya Kabad Parai Ath Labwa Gum Ba Pa'im Mike, 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 Mike. All right. Look like we back. Salakia for that. Salakia. Continue. Salakia. Wayakaba, Parai, Ath, Labua, Gum, Ba, Paim, Ha, Za'ath, Wala'a, Shalach, Ah, Ha'im. It's Book of Exodus, chapter 9 and verse 1. Double check. Sure we good to go. All right. Book of Exodus, chapter 9, verse 1. Wayamar Yahweh al Mashah, Ba'a al Parai, Wa, the Barath, the Bartha, Salaki. Al Yahweh, Ka, Amar Yahweh, Allah Haya, Ha'ai Baryam, Shalak Ath, Ya, Waya I Badnuya. Verse 2, Kaya, um, Ma'an, Afa, La Shalach, Wa I Wadka, Macha Salaki, Macha Zayak, Bum. Verse 3, Hana, Yad, Yahweh, Hawa, Hawaya, Ba Makwanka, Ashar, Bashada, Basa, Basawasyam, Ba Hamariam, Ba Gamayam, Baba Kwar, Wa Ba Tazaan, Dabar, Kad, so like Kabad, like Ma'ad, verse 4, verse 4, Waha Allah Yahweh Bayan Makwana Yasharala Wa Salaki Wa Bayan Makwana Matazarium Wala'a Ya Mawath Makal La Salaki La Banya Yasharala Debar. Verse 5. Verse 5. Wayasham Yahweh Mawa Mawa'id La Amar Makar Ya Aisha Yahweh Ha Debar Haza Ba Arataza. Verse 6. Waya Aisha Yahweh Ath Ha Debar Haza Mama Charath Waya Wayamath Kal Ma Kwana Matazarium Wa Ma Kwana Banya Yasharala La'a Man Aslaki Math Achar Achad. Verse 7. Waya Shalach Hara Wa Hana La'a Math Mama Kwana Yasharala Id Achad wa ya kabad la para wa la shalach ath ha ha'im. Verse 8. Wa ya more Yahweh al Mashah wa al Aharon wa lakum ma mala'ah chapa chapan yakum payach kab kabashun was rakwa masha ha sha mo yama ha bashamayama I la yanya para. Verse 9. Wa haya la bak al call arataza matazarium wa ma ya wa haya al ha adam wa al ha ba hama la shachayan harach ba ba I by bakal arataza matazarium. Verse 10. Waya kwakwa af payach haka bashan waya I madwa la banya para waya zarak athwa masha ha shemayama waya haya shach yawa aba a ba I baith I like it. Arak ba badam waba ba hama. Verse 11. Wa la'a ya yakawa ha ha ratomyum la I mad la panya masha ma panya ha shach yawa salakia ha sha haya ha salakia ha shachayan haya haya ha shachayan ba ha ratomum wa bakal matazarium waya chazak Yahweh ath lab para wa la'a shema alahum ka'a kashar debar Yahweh al Mashah. 13. Waya more Yahweh al Mashah ha shikum baba babakor wa ha yatazab la panya para wa al mor wa morath al yawa ka amor Yahweh alahaya I barium shalach ath I'm ya waya I bad yawa. It's like it. I bad ya. Verse 14. Kaya ba ba I'm haza ath anya shalach ath call ma gapathia Al La Labka Waba I Bad Yaka Waba Imka Ba I Bawar the Dai Kaya Ayan Kan Kamaniya Bakal Harataza 15 Kaya Aitha Sha Lachthia Ath Yadya Wa Wak Awa Awath Awathka Wath Amka Ba Badabor Watha Khachad Mun Harataza 16 Wa Walum Ba Ba I Bawar Za'ath Ha I Wadath Yaka Ba I Bawar Sapar Shamya Bakal Haratazar I Wadka Masa Bawalo Ba'amya La Labathia Shalachum verse 18 Hananiah Mama Mama Tayar Ka'ith Machar Barad Ka Kabad Ma'ad Ashar La'a Haya Kam Kamawa Ba Matazar Yum La Slakia Lamun Ha Hayawam Ha Wa Sada Wa Itha 19 Wa Itha Shalach Ha Eyes Ath Ma Makwanka Wa'ath Kal Ashar Laka Ba Shada Kal Hadama Waha Waha Bahama Ashar Yama Taza'a Ba Shada Wa La'a Yasa Yasak Ha Haba Yatha Habayatha Wayarad Ilam Ha Barad Wa Mathwa. Verse 20. Hayar Hayara'ath Debar Yahweh Ma'ai Badia Parai Laki Ha Nayas Ath I Badia Wa'ath Makwa Nawa Al Ha Habathium. Verse 21. Washar La'a Shum Labwa Al Debar Yahweh Waya Izab Ath I Badia Wa'ath Makwanawa Bashada, verse 22. Waya More, Yahweh al Mashah, Nata, Ath, Yadka, al Hashemayim, Waya Haya, Barad, Bakal, Arataza, Matazarium, al Ha Adam, Wa Wa'al, Salaki, Ha Ba Hama, Wa'al, Kal, I Shab, Ha Shada, Barataza, Matazarium. All right. Book of Exodus, chapter 9 and verse, or Salakia, chapter 8 and verse 31. And the Lord did according to the word of Moses, and he removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people. There remained not one. And Pharaoh hardened his heart at this time also, neither would he let the people go. You know what I mean? So again, Pharaoh keep on going to Moses, and every time a plague comes from the Most High on the land of Egypt, he go to Moses and be like, "Hey, you know what I mean? Ask your God." He believes in a God now. He believes in the Most High God when he's in tribulation. But then, as soon as that plague is lifted, you know what I mean, by the hand of the Most High through Moses, then he forgets and he gets more cruel on the Lord's chosen people. I mean, that's your oppressor in America currently today. I mean, I pray my brothers and sisters start to recognize it. All right. Book of Genesis, chapter, or it's like a book of Exodus, chapter 9 and verse 1. Then the Lord said unto Moses, "Go unto Pharaoh and tell him, Thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let them go and wilt hold them still, behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain. And the Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel." Okay. So the Most High is about to put a disease on bring a disease about on the earth. You know what I mean, and not only is he about to bring a disease about on the land of Egypt, but he's about to separate, you know what I mean, the the people and the livestock of Israel from the land of Egypt. Verse 4, and the land, it's like, and the Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel. Verse 5, and the Lord appointed a set time, saying, Tomorrow the Lord shall do this thing in the land. And the Lord did that thing on the morrow, and all the cattle of Egypt died, but of the cattle of the children of Israel died not one. And Pharaoh sent, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of Israel dead. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. And the Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron, Take your handfuls of ashes and of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh. And this is so heavy right here, like what you're seeing. Like it's so heavy because, I mean, not even plagues, not even the 10 plagues coming from the Most High God could, make Pharaoh let the Lord's chosen people go. So what makes you think you singing and dancing and marching up and down the street? What you think? How can we possibly think that that's gonna, move our oppressor to let the Lord's chosen people go? On them borders, and being arrested and hunted down by ICE. Let them off of the reservations. What you think? A T-shirt is gonna make them let your people go? You think a hat is gonna let your it's it's just so crazy how our people think. What you got to understand is like this Bible is gonna tell you exactly how your oppressor is gonna treat you, and again, Pharaoh saw the plagues of the Most High God. You know what I mean? Flies and lice and locusts and, you know what I mean, sickness and disease and death and all those different things. And you think a hat is going to save you and make you soften your oppressor's heart. You think a hat and a t-shirt is going to soften your oppressor's heart. You know what I mean? And marching and singing and dancing is going to soften your oppressor's heart. You know what I mean? That's why it's so important for us to get into this Bible. It's important for us to get into this Bible and get our culture so that we can actually see things for what they are. Because right now, the reason why we think that we can woo our oppressor over with a song and a dance is because that's what your Christian pastor taught you. But this Bible says otherwise, that the Most High is going to harden your oppressor's heart just so he can destroy them, and that you should never trust your enemy. You should never join with your oppressor. I mean, that's what the Bible says. But because we've been taught so many lies for so long, we think that a hat and a shirt and a song and a dance, how stupid, good night. How stupid does that sound? You know what I mean? But that's really what we think. We really think a suit and a hat and, you know what I mean, a t-shirt and song and a dance and linking arms and a meal, you know what I mean, and a dinner and a party is going to soften our oppressor's heart. But let's move on. Verse 9, it shall come and it shall become small dust in the land of Egypt. So I can make sure. And shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beasts throughout all the land of Egypt. Verse 10. And they took ashes of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh, and Moses sprinkled it up toward heaven, and it became a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beasts. And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the bulls, for the bulls was upon the musicians and upon all the Egyptians. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had spoken unto Moses. 13. And the Lord said unto Moses, Rise up early upon the morning, and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thy heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. For now I will stretch out my hand that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. right, so like you for that, and the water for bearing with me. I mean, we'll try to get this knocked out. I mean, through our technical difficulties, like it. Verse 10, Slakia, book of Exodus, chapter 9, verse 10. And they took ashes of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh, and Moses sprinkled it upon up toward the heaven. And it became a bull breaking forth with them with blame upon man and upon beast. And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the bulls, for the bulls were upon the magicians and upon all the Egyptians. And the Lord hardened the hearts of Pharaoh, and he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had spoken unto Moses. 13. And the Lord said unto Moses, rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. 14. For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thy heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. 15. For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. 16. And in very deed, for this cause have I raised thee up, for to shew in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. As yet exalted thou thyself against my people, that thou wilt not let them go. Behold, tomorrow, about this time will I cause it to rain a very grievous hail, such as hath not been in Egypt since the foundation thereof, even till now. Send therefore now and gather thy cattle and all that thou hast in the field, or upon every man and beast which shall be found in the field, and shall not be brought home. Hell shall come down upon them, and they shall die. Verse 20, he that feared the word of the Lord among the servants of Pharaoh made his servants and his cattle flee into the houses. And he that regarded not the word of the Lord let his servant and his cattle in the field. And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch forth thine hand toward the heaven, that there may be hail in all the lands of Egypt, upon man and upon beast, and upon every herb of the field throughout the land of Egypt. All right, so there you have it. You see you see the things that the Lord was doing, back then. In Egypt. This is just the beginning of it. You're gonna see more next Sabbath service. But what you got to definitely understand and be able to realize is that this is exactly what's happening in America. And just like like I said at the end, it said that those who didn't hearken, they left they didn't hearken they didn't listen to what Moses was saying about the wonders that he was saying that the Most High was going to do to the land of Egypt. And because they didn't act, then they lost everything. But those that did listen and act, they was able to preserve what they had. That's warns over and over and over, especially during the time of these plagues like we in right now. Then, you'll start to see, you're just gonna see, you're gonna see that you're gonna, like the scriptures say, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. You join with your oppressor, and you got the spirit of your oppressor. You moving like your oppressor. You're joined to your oppressor, celebrating their holidays and intermarrying with them, joining their LGBTQ communities and all of that. You're going to suffer the same punishment as your oppressor. But if you listen to the Most High God, you can avoid those plagues. But we're going to end it right there. Genesis, or it's like Exodus 9 and 22. We're going to pick up Genesis 9 and 23 next week. Make sure you tune in to Lashwan Kodash class so that you can be prepared and in tune with this Hebrew. Ask your questions during that class. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. And again, as we end the Sabbath service, make sure you hit that QR code as well. So even if the class ends or we're not able to address any questions or anything in class, you can hit up that QR code, and morning, noon, and night, a brother will be in there to answer all your questions and solve all your problems. With that, I imagine, which means to stand. Salute the Torah real quick. Yahweh Shem Yahshabrak Yah. Yahweh Shem Yahshab. It's like it. La Yashrala. All right, Sar Wapan Yahakodons means turn to face the east. We do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa Shabbat Shemayim Kodash Hayashim Ka Yahweh Malakukata Ba'aratazaka Haya Aisha Baratazaka Kawa Haya Bashamayim. The thunder now, the come call you one was select now, Kawat no Kasalak no Kawati now, while Atabi Ano, Banasawana, Ball Habashana, my young Rakaya, Laka Hamalakwa. Wahala Watapa Rafla, I will love you my money. In English, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever, so be it. Prayer for the Hakat, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Babu Kashah, the thunder no Slaki, the thunder no Hakat, Larapaha, call Makalawa, call Madawa, Hakat, Latahar, Hamatazarium, Hakat, Lahakoyam, Hamatim, Hakat, Awakawath, Hatamala, Agar Shun, Ba'Shem Yahushua, the Waramun. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. The prayer to bless Israel in Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, Barak Lanawa, Wayasharala, Wahaba Sapari, and Barak Ba'Shem Yahushua, Thawad Aman. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, bless us in Israel in the school. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. The Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ai, Yanya, Ahaharya, Ma'yan, Yaba'ai, Zarya, Isaiah, Ma'am, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'arataza, Al Yatan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka. Anala Yanawam, Wala'ai, Yashan, Shalmar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Tamarka, Yahweh, Tazaka, Al Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ai, Yakakawa, Yarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Ra, Yashamar, Atapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaatka, Wawa'aka, Ma'ata, Wa'id Awalam. In English, I will lift up my eyes to the hills from which comes my help coming from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper, Yahweh thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, al Damiyelika, al Takarash, al Tashakwa, al Kayahna, al Yabika, Yahamiya 1, Umashanayaka, Sha'awa, Ra'ash, al Amika, Yawayamu, Sawad, Bayata Yaitazwa, al Tazapuanika, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidam, Magalia, Wala'ab, Salaki. Yazakar, Sham Yasharala, Awad, Kayad, Namaitazwa, Lab, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Maryath, Yakarathwa, Ahaya, Adawam, Wayashamalim, Mawaawa, Wahagarium, Gabal, Amawan, Amalat, Palashat, Amishabi, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Lenawa, Nalawa, Imam Salak Haywa Zorwa, Labunya Lawat, Salah Aisha Lahum, Kamajin, Kasaya Sarah, Kayabin, what a call, Koyashwin. Like Shea Thumu, Kagogla, Kakwash, Lapanya, Raka, Kaash, Taravi, Aru, Labaw, Talahat, Khan, Tavadatma, Basa Arka, Wabasa, Wapatka, Tablaham, Balaat, Panyahom, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shumka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Yabaawa, Ajai, Wayakaparwa, Yabadwa, Waya Daiwa, Kaya, Tha, Shumka, Yahawa, Labatka, Aljuwan, Alkaha, Rataza. In the English, Salaki. Keep not thy silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, they that hate thee, they have lifted up the head, they have taken crafty counsel. Salaki. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more of remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites, the Moab, the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, doing the members unto the Midianites, as a Sisera, as a Jabin, at the brook of Hassan, which perished that endured. They became as dung for the earth. Make the nobles like Oreb and like Zeeb, yea, are the princes as Zabad and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the power and possession. O my power, make them like the wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shah, Wa Mayaka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Matazab Yah, Alawak Yahana, Halawapim, Hasaranyim, Hakwatazayanyim, Hakayayoyim, Wahakwatin Yahweh, Bashim Yahshat, the Waraman. In the English, bless you Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, and Michael, and the angels, Commander General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it. All right, Sar. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers in the Visual Model Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahaba Shim Yah Shah Barakathon, Yadi Matai. Sorry, we're going to turn the face to sisters, give a courtesy salute to the sisters. The Visual Model Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahaba Shim Yah Shah, Yadi Matai. Dismiss.